Welcome everybody, Steve here. Alright, if you've been following my channel, last year I cladded the brick mold for the front door. Now, in my life, it's really hard to do things for myself because I'm busy doing everything for everybody else. But I've got some time, so now I'm going to put my storm door back on. The problem is, it doesn't fit anymore. Now that I've cladded it, I've got the thickness of the metal, you know, and it probably doesn't fit as tight as it should, even though it feels like it does. But I'm going to show you how I am going to make this door fit, and the method I've come up with, I've never tried it before, but I'm going to give it a whirl. I'm going to show you how to do it, and maybe it'll work for you. So let's head into the shop where I got my door, and we'll tackle that, making that door a little smaller. Alright, here is my storm door. Now typically when you're making a door a little smaller, you want to take it off the hinge side, but the problem with that, and it's a real heavy door, the hinges are mounted as you can see on the face. So, doesn't make any sense. It ain't gonna do you any good making your door smaller on the hinge side. You'd have to move your hinges to make the door fit. So we're gonna take it off the front. But I got a plan. And first thing we're gonna do is take off the doorknob. Well, we got our door set up here. Now we're ready to I want to take about 1/8 of an inch off of this side. Now, there's a lot of different ways of doing this. And it all depends on the tool that you have. Like most people maybe have a belt sander. You can do that, but that takes a lot of skill, and when you're all said and done, probably going to look a little bit like that. So that's an option if you're doing something on the bottom, or you know, you have to take just a little bit off the top or on the you know, on one spot or another. Belt sander works great, but I'm not going to use that. I've used a skill saw before quite a few times. That works great on the bottom. But unless you got a really good straight edge, it's really difficult to do, you know, to freehand something like that. But in a pinch, this is probably what I would go to. Another option. We got a planer. Great tool. But if you've ever used one, they're very difficult to use. And you can end up doing some pretty quick damage. They're hard to keep flat, so you might end up, you know, being on a bit of an angle. So, in a pinch, I would, but you'd really want to take fine cuts. That's going to take some time. Don't like that option. Now, second option to this is going with the hand plane. You know, that's all fun, but you're going to get all wore out, won't be able to hang the door. So this is what I'm going to do. I do have a good straight edge that I've used for cutting plywood, cutting anything like that. And I'm just going to use a flush trim bit. Now this is a 1.5-inch flush trim, and basically you set up, you ride your bearing along your straight edge, and you can peel that off nice, quick, and easy. And it'll do a perfect job for you. So that is what I'm going to do. But you need a good straight edge. Now I happen to have a piece of, I don't know, it looks like 1.5 by 3/8 metal. A good straight edge would be like a piece of plywood. That's got a really nice cut straight edge. It's really hard to find a 2x4 or a 1x4 or anything like that that's perfectly straight. But when you're in a pinch, you can do something like that. But straighter your straight edge, the better your finish. So let's get started on that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to clamp it down. My steel it's stiff enough that I don't really have to clamp it in the middle because it's not going to move this way. So on both ends I'm going to clamp it. And of course we're not going to be able to do the ends where the clamps are, but we'll move the clamps once we get our routing done. You'll see what's going on. Alright, let's get set up. Now I'm using a block of wood on the back side here, so don't wreck my door. Okay, now we need to measure, make sure everything's right on the money. Now I'm just eyeing it up. I may have to come back and take more off. Yeah, that's good. Alright, now the hard part. Holy cow. That steel adds a lot of weight onto things. Okay, now in the middle, it's starting to drop a little bit like that, so I'm going to just put a quick clamp in the middle, and that'll be good for that. All right, let's do it. Oh yes, got her, first time. And that looks really, really good. Now I haven't got this other hinge in here, but from what I'm seeing, I think it's gonna be pretty darn good. Okay, now we gotta round over these edges here, put a little paint on there, and then we can hang it permanently. So in keeping with my theme here, I have a 1/8 inch router bit here, or round over, should I say. I could just, use a block, but today's kind of about the router. Well, kind of. I'm going to show you where the router is not going to work very well. But first off, let's get this rounded over, and then we'll move on to the next little issue that I have. This is the bottom of my door. Now, we've got a little bit of rubbish on here, but you can see that when this line comes, this is actually way down. So we need to take this off. Now, the board is running this way, so this is end grain here. And if we were to use the router, you might get away with it if it was a little wetter wood, but this is old and dry. This would probably just splinter and basically just destroy this. So here's a situation where your belt sander is your friend. So I've got this side and I have the other side to do as well. So we're gonna fire up the belt sander and sand that a little straighter. Time to start painting. Anybody that knows me knows that this is not my favorite thing to do unless I'm holding a spray gun, but you gotta do it. Now I'm just using this is a Cloverdale Weather one, and I really find that it covers really, really nice. Now I'm just using a foamy here. You could use a roller, whatever you feel comfortable about using. And typically I just put a couple coats on and then you're going to be good. This stuff covers really, really well. Now we did two things with the router on this. You know, if you're a DIY guy and you're just getting into woodworking, the router is such a powerful tool to have. And if you saw one of my previous videos where I actually built a round table with it, and you know, you need it for finishing, you need it for, you can use it for so many different things. I got another video coming up where I'm going to show you what another trick I use that I use the router for. Stuff soaks up pretty fast, so you can get two coats on fairly quickly. got a piece of tape on the inside here, so we can run our foamy underneath there. Okay, I'm going to finish up. You guys are getting bored, ready to change the channel, and I'm going to put the handle on and put her in place. I'm excited. I've gone a long time without a storm door. At least these aren't too complicated to put in. Well, you wouldn't think so. So it didn't take too long for the stain to set up. I let her set for a couple of hours. And you notice I'm wearing a little different jacket today. It's kind of raining out today. And I did change it when I did the painting, so make sure you're wearing your ugly jacket. Saying that, pretty well all my jackets are ugly. Oh, not this one. Alright, now I'm having issues. I lost my thing I do here. There we go. I'm going to snug up one of the bolts here. Should be doing this the other way around. That's alright. We'll get it. That was way harder than it should have been. I had to take the bottom hinge off, work it. Now I gotta go get a rubber mallet, pound the top pin in. Right back. Perfect. Really happy with that. Finally got my door back, and I think it looks a lot better. Even though it's kind of old and rustic, but that's kind of what my house is. Well, this was a challenge to put it on. I had to figure out which pin went up here, because I actually had one pin that was bigger than the other. And when you're getting into jobs like this, that's just the way it goes. How one pin is bigger than the others, I don't know how that works. But somebody did it, and I just had to figure it out again. Okay, we narrowed this door up. I hope that this is a technique that you can use. It works great. I'm really happy with it. It's easy and it's accurate. And if it just makes the job go better, it's worth it. Give it a try, and we'll catch up to you on the next video. Thanks for watching.